and the model of providing concise and reliable resources that lower the barriers for future building professionals to learn about building decarbonization, exactly what this group has been working so diligently on, is I believe we really need to learn how to scale even further and have even greater impact and achieve our vision in this new school of helping humans and nature thrive. So thank you for being here, and thank you for your interest and hard work on educating future building professionals. And I do hope that you enjoy the symposium.
In the 34 years that SIFE, the Center for Integrated Facility Engineering, has existed, 100% with industry funding, we have tackled many important problems and opportunities. And every year people ask me, you know, shouldn't you declare success and close it down? But every year there's more important problems to tackle, and really none more important than this one here, because the actions of all of us on our building projects don't only affect the building project, but really affect our well-being on the planet. And as Sarah said, we have to get the knowledge out there as fast as possible.
This unlivable climate like future that we're trying to avoid, it's a villain of our own creation. And I simply put, we designed our way into this crisis, and so we're going to have to design our way out. And that's why this accelerator is so important, and when Peter first told me about the accelerator, it was clear to me that you were actively trying to provide those toolkits, empower the workers of that decarbonization economy to effectively scale and design our way out. So I was very eager to connect and be able to talk with you today and hopefully begin a conversation about like some of the pieces that I believe to be critical in this work. And I think this is meant to be something where it's the beginning of a conversation and not just a one-off. But I think that we have to recognize that a lot of this is going to be, students in classrooms and in institutions that are going to bear the burden of that large design project. And so part of it is my job to help pave that way as much as possible, clear a path, and to potentially remove obstacles for them to be as successful as possible. It's also important to kind of remember something, that it's only one part of the solution. We all know that climate change and inequality are inextricably linked. And so inclusive climate action really means that we have to make the people inside these buildings more resilient, healthier, and more able to take part and thrive in the great generational work we're proposing as of building out this carbon-free future. So it's a future that requires all of us, and so we have to consider how we enable all of us to participate in that future. And that's kind of why we're here and why we're able to kind of join forces in this effort, and how we recognize the fact that buildings are where we're going to experience the transition to the carbon-free economy. So as we decarbonize the power sector and transition to zero emission vehicles, with all the charging and batteries that comes along with that, all those clean electrons, they're going to flow through buildings. And so I think it's just important to recognize that this sector is going to really play an important role in how, we all and the public and those that are not like in this particular industry will experience the transition. And so being able to be in a place where we're providing those important resources, it matters, and it will continue to matter as a critical kind of backdrop and home for this decarbonized economy. So I remain excited to work with all of you, as well as to kind of support this work. And I'm excited to see how thoughtful you've been around some of the work with universities that have incredible, talented students that were it not for this symposium are not getting the attention they deserve. So I really appreciate that, and I think it's part of how we make sure that we're moving all these pieces forward at the same time.
I felt introducing it into a senior level course that had, I'm in the curriculum of architectural engineering, so it fit very well in there. We have 4 disciplines that we teach. I'm on the mechanical side, but my colleagues teach the, architectural side, structural side, and electrical side. And so we each took a piece of decarbonization, introduced it into our sections of the course. And I felt it went very well. We introduced it again in senior project 2. So I really enjoyed introducing decarbonization. It kind of took us off track of teaching the old style central plant system and go to more electric heat pumps and think about solar panels and things like that in nature. So I do believe we're going to just continue to move in that type of direction.
A lot of my classmates did not have the same opportunity to take the course that I did. And it became something that is important in sort of our current meta in terms of what we're doing as architecture students. And so now I have a level of education on the subject that they don't have, and a level of sort of tool usage and skill application that they don't have. And so I think the accessibility is definitely something that should become more of an item in terms of teaching this subject, especially considering how niche of a subject it is. I think that niche narrative needs to be erased, and that would be done by sort of a widespread educational practice of it.
Big thing that we try to meet is the ABET outcome. So if you're an ABET accredited curriculum, then one of the engineering outcomes is the ability to apply engineering design to produce solutions that meet specified needs with consideration of public health, safety, welfare, as well as global, cultural, social, environmental, and economic factors. So decarbonization in your teaching and design helps the students meet that outcome. So I thought it's very important, especially in the architectural engineering world.
It's not hard to embrace it, because all of us in architects teach some kind of sustainability, a part of curriculum. But one thing I did find that is very fun in putting building decarbonization, because it's the current topic and it's not like the past topic. So it's so relevant to actually teach it because it enhances the curriculum.
Right.
So, you're not teaching how to build something which is done 100 years ago. You wanted these future students to take actionable items and have these skills, because then they would be implementing it. So kind of, I felt like it enhances the curriculum. And I would say to all professors to educate more students, so more and more of them have the skill as they hit the workforce. So we created a building decarbonization from theory to practice. So the objective of the course was to not only expose the student on building decarbonization, but also have an application and how to do it. And we used the AI headquarters as our main study of implementation. And so that was the course model where the student learned the subject matter and applied it in a design.
So specifically in the world of ESG, this is a snapshot of where we are today. We do about $12 billion of revenue as a company. If you parcel out, according to the ESG rating platforms that exist in today's, mostly in the EU and in North America, 6 billion of it is centered, according to the current rating agencies, in the world of ESG. And that number, if you were to kind of, and those rating agencies are changing their criteria nearly monthly. So I have some examples there, whether it be around new forms of energy, sustainable buildings, sustainable asset management, new ways of delivering the electrification of everything. We are in the middle of advising, consulting, concepting, as well as engineering those facilities. And we made a bold statement to the market here, our shareholders and our investors, as well as all of our people, that by 2025, 100% of our project portfolio will be ESG centric. And we're not intimidated by that effort and that bold statement at all. Do the right thing. The world is clearly at a precipice, at an inflection point here, and we've got a great opportunity to have a positive impact in the future of our planet, and it's an exciting time for all. I think that we've got a tremendous amount, whether it be the universities that are represented here or even globally. There's so many great bastions of learning that we have. The why. I think that the more that we that come from STEM backgrounds can understand the why and the positive impact that it has on the world, not just for ourselves, but our children and our children's children and so forth, I think that's going to generate, the solutions that we come through. Yes. Are there a tremendous amount of policy debates on this topic and sources of funds and where things go? That's always going to be there. And we're finding ourselves, even at Jacobs and even our peer group, our competitors, in the middle of those policy debates. But our understanding of the why and really getting into the emotional side of, no, this is something that we have to do. This isn't that we think that it's a good, no, this is an imperative. We have to do this. And oh, by the way, it makes for a good business. Peter, we were talking about the Larry Fink statement, broad statement. So BlackRock is, one of the, if not the largest institutional investor on the planet, $6, $7, $8 trillion worth of investment that they move markets on what they say. And, the chief investment officer and the founder puts out one memo that if your company is not engaged in these items to protecting our planet, we will not invest $1 into your company. And markets move, right? And it's those types of stands that we need to take. And then all of us, from coming from the technical fields, can then have that positive impact. And I think as you think about it from whether it be a professor or a student, how do we bring that awareness to all the great minds that we have in our learning institutions, so that they can be a part of that narrative moving forward?
In bringing people together for the symposium today, it was actually very gratifying and exciting that people, when we contacted them and said, hey, will you participate in the symposium? People were very excited to do it. Decarbonization and particularly building decarbonization is something that people are very excited about and are feeling like there's a lot of hope and good work that can be done in this sector. So, and good jobs.